Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 19th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which is rapidly approaching that late August resistance line projection target, 55.40. We were looking for that by the end of next month. It looks like we might even get that by the end of this month. In terms of the downside, not expecting anything lower than the last gap, the top of the last gap there, around 5400. The worst case at the moment, 5370. And the floor of that last gap. RSI oversold, but not excessively so, and we have been here before, and nothing too bad has happened. Obviously, after the great run we've had, a rug pull could be on the cards, but it looks as though at the moment we are safe from that. Onto the Nasdaq 100, and here we've actually been touching the top of that rising trend channel there. That's basically heading for the 20,000 handle. Looking for that, hopefully, any session now. And if we get through 20,000, the next level up would be 20,800 at the top of that rising trend channel there from back in April. Floor of the channel currently at 19,500, and that is what we expect the downside to be. I suppose the worst case would be 19,200 and the floor of the latest gap, or the last gap on that chart. Next up is Actalists in terms of the stocks, and here rather volatile, it has to be said. Got a bear trap island reversal within that gap up situation. Probably means that we're looking for the shares to remain above $1.80, which was yesterday's support, and also the floor of the gap down that we had earlier in the month. So above 180, then looking for a partial or even full retest of the 450 plus spike that we had. Ideally, we're in the sort of 300, the $3 to $3.50 area, which was resistance on the way down while we're above 180. Another stock which is perhaps not quite as volatile is Airgain, and here a classic breakout here after an extended sideways consolidation. The rising trend channel here has been in place since back in November. Top of the channel there heading for the line I'm just drawing at the moment, which is basically towards $9, and we're looking for that by the end of next month while we remain above recent broken resistance around $5.80. Airship is next. It's been a while since we looked at this one, and here you can see why it's been a while. We've obviously come back down from the dizzy heights that we had back in March. Current situation is that we're basically bouncing at previous resistance. There we've bounced around $3, and the current situation, we've got this V-shaped consolidation looking for the 50-day line around $5.70 while we're above the $4 area, basically yesterday's support zone. On to something a little bit different in terms of the sector, but it's Comtech Telecommunications, which is actually delivered on our rising trend channel that we were looking for, just shy of that, around $4.60. Still looking for that over the next few sessions while we remain above the old support there around $3.10, which was back in March. Ideally, we stay above the previous resistance on the way down to 360, but that might be asking for a little bit too much. On to China Liberal, which we look at on a reasonably regular basis. Here you can see that the overall pattern is that we've got a rising trend channel base. Top of the channel there has already been hit, but we're looking for a retest of that $3.60 by the end of this month. Above that, there's a big prize of hitting that October resistance line projection at $8.50, maybe sometime over the summer. But the main thing here is to remain on the right side of the $2 mark. New name now coming up, which is Desktop Metal, and here got the chance for a bear trap rebound from below the February support there around $4.60. The longer we can stay above that, the greater the chance of a move to the 50-day moving average, $6.90 by the end of next month. A decent situation, hopefully, is waiting in the wings now with Lazy Boy here. Unfilled gap to the upside after a gap down, so that should have wrong-footed the bears quite painfully. That also suggests that we can be all the more optimistic regarding the upside. Looking for $44 at that resistance line projection there from back in July, and that's valid while we remain above the old or recent resistance, broken resistance at $38, and that also ties in with yesterday's support area, $38.12. A stock which has a great ring to it is Nano Nuclear, and it's already fulfilled our initial target. The top of that channel there, $8.80. Above that, we were looking for the upper parallel of that channel, which is actually $13.30, and hoping for that by the end of this month. In fact, it looks as though this could give us much more than that over the near term, especially while we remain on the right side of $10. Maybe less dramatic, Nurex, here, slow breakout for the shares above the 50-day line. We had a notional rising trend channel here, but obviously the shares have shifted along as they tend to do. Rising trend channel at the moment, basically from back in September, and probably looking for the top of the channel there as high as $22 by the end of this month, while we remain above recent broken resistance at $17.20. OMA goes next, and we looked at this before. Here, trying and keeping on trying, finding a base here. The main thing is to get an end of day close through the 50-day moving average around $2.30, and then we can retest May resistance towards $3, but it hasn't happened yet. On to Silk Road, and here gapping up quite nicely. This is a bit of a gapping situation after the gaps down that we had back in the latter part of last year. What we're looking for here is progress within a rising trend channel, which has been in place since November. The top of the channel there nominally heading towards the $28 level, and we're not too far away from that at the moment, or we weren't on the close yesterday, but a little bit more upside there possible on Silk Road. Shift Pixie is next, and we've looked at this many times before as well, hoping obviously for a rebound. It's been a bit of a long trek, but that falling trend channel hopefully will be broken relatively soon, or at least the top of it will be hit, and that is around the $5.10 level. Looking for that by the end of next month, while we're above the 50-day line around $1.90. On to the last two. First one is coming up rapidly, Vacasa, and here you can see it's all about trying to break out of that falling wedge, which is, in fact, we've done there at $5. Above that, looking for a retest of $8, basically May resistance by the end of next month. So that looks as though that's taking shape. The last one is Vernet X, and here you can see that there was various action there back in the summer, but the current situation is that we've got the potential of basically a triangle base, and the top of the triangle there towards 770. That's our target by the end of next month, if we can get more closes above the 50-day line at $4.80. Only back below the gap floor there around 440, really delaying the upside scenario. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.